Jeff, how did you feel when you first heard what our supporters were doing, raising money for the Burton fans?
Well, I think I was practically as emotional as I was on that famous day in 2010 when we were promoted. The most incredible gesture, and I think it's probably unprecedented in football for supporters to be so generous.
Obviously, it was quite disappointing when the game was cancelled on Saturday. How did you feel at the time?
Well, we were having a sort of a little bit of a party in the boardroom. Everybody associated with the club was disappointed. For our own supporters, for the players, the staff, the preparation, just getting the game staged, and all the hard work the groundsman had put in. But at the end of the day, the referee is the person that makes the decision, and we have no influence on that. So you just have to grin and bear it, and move on to the rearranged game a week on Tuesday.
The club, of course, have a long-standing relationship with Burton, obviously when we got promoted there a few years ago. Yeah. And I know you're still very close friends with their chairman, Ben.
Yes, well, had Ben in the boardroom with his wife, Leslie, on Saturday, along with Greg Dyke, the FA chairman. So although the game was postponed, we decided that we'd have lunch and a bottle of wine, just to reciprocate the hospitality that they so kindly afforded us at the Pirelli Stadium. It was a pretty good spirit, and of course it was one of those rare occasions in the boardroom where you could enjoy a glass of wine because the game was postponed, so nobody was going to leave the stadium a loser.
Have you spoken to Ben since the fund has been created, and have you got his thoughts on it?
No, I haven't. I thought I'd wait until this morning because the fund was gathering momentum. I want to make sure that the supporters get the benefit of this, and Ben doesn't go out in the January transfer window and buy half a dozen players that could be on the park a week on Tuesday against us.
As we're speaking this morning, it's up to nearly £3,000. It's quite incredible, really, and shows that there is some good stories to come out of the FA Cup and football.
Yeah, it is. The FA Cup itself is just the fairy story competition. It's the chance that all lower league clubs, have an opportunity for glory, whether it's just one match or success over 2 or 3 rounds. And we know what it feels like, in the past to be successful, and we also know what it feels like to be on the losing end of a giant killing act. Blythe comes to mind all those years ago, but that is aside from the fact that on that day when we were promoted, after years of grief, struggling, and I think I said recently only a point away from leaving the Football League altogether. For Ben and all of his staff, the groundsmen, the stewards, to let us have the run of the ground was just something that was incredible. Stewards, by their very nature, are designed to hold crowds at bay, but they were joining in the celebrations as well, and our supporters have never forgotten it. And you will recall I wrote an open letter to Ben that he published at Burton, showing the gratitude, expressing the gratitude of all the board and all the staff, players and supporters.
And I imagine you'll be looking forward to welcoming them all back here next Tuesday for the replay.
I will, and now, of course, we're hoping to welcome 3 or 4 coach loads of Burton supporters. I hope this doesn't backfire on us. We might have had about 25 or 100 supporters. We're now going to get 200 or 300. But it's an incredible gesture, and I want to make it quite clear that this was an idea of the fans, not of the board. It's just gathered momentum, and I think there's been a lot of great occasions at the football club that have given me a great sense of pride. Nothing has given me a greater sense of pride than to support this incredible gesture from our supporters.